And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to be talking about Zoneplex. No, hang on a second. Zoneplex is one moment. In the far future, the humanoid empires of the universe have turned to an intense study of the ancient civilizations of a planet known as Earth. They have learned that these ancient Earthlings not only built numerous pyramids pointing towards the sky, but also had an extensive knowledge of the stars. They needed to find a fifth element. Oh, hang on, that's not there. It is rumored that perhaps they were blah, blah, blah. Now there's a colossal black hole. The advanced pyramid craft known as the Zoneplex has emerged. Each empire has sent an elite warrior monk on a one-way mission to gain control of the Zoneplex, to emerge victorious and ultimately control the pathways of the universe and time itself. Well, it's not trading in the Mediterranean, so there's that. I found this game when I was at Board Game Geek Con in 2012, and the people were there wearing hooded robes, and they were very mysterious, and I was almost scared to go up. Well, I was scared to go up and talk to them, but eventually I heard some people say that the game was very interesting, so let's take a look. So here you have your monks. Each person will have a colored monk that they will send into this pyramid. Each person also has a thing that they'll put in front of them. This is where you keep your spirit stones. You have 4 spirit stones of your color. And also when you defeat enemies, you will keep them there. Players also will get a card that shows them their secret symbol. Here we have a bed, or perhaps here we have an arrow hitting someone in the head, or in this one, the beginning of a tic-tac-toe, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you get one of those secret symbols, and that's yours. Now, on your turn, what you will do is you will focus on this deck here. You will turn over the top card, and that is the action that you take this turn. Most of the actions will be 1, 2, or 3 of these. What that means is you will draw 1, 2, or 3 tiles, and then you will place these tiles onto the pyramid. Now, of course, you're building the pyramid as you put these tiles out, and so as time goes by, the pyramid is going to get closer and closer to the top. And after you put out these pieces, you then can move, or you must move your monk 1, 2, or 3 spaces, exactly. And then depending on where they land, different things might happen. If they land here, you'll get a relic card, which are powerful cards that you can use during the game. If you land on one of these, you can transport to another one that's the same color, or to a wild one, which matches all 3 colors, red, blue, and yellow. There's walls here that are on one side, and this is I think it's kind of a bad design choice. These walls are the same color as the pink on these, and these pink things don't block anything. So I'm really not sure why they made those the same color. But when there's a pink thing on the same side, it's a wall, and you're not allowed to use a wall to block to block people from getting to the pyramid. So there's things about that. These other pink sections here are spirit chambers. And if you end your turn on one of those, you can put your stone in it. This is a neutral one. This has someone's symbol in. So if you put them in yours and you keep them in yours, at the end of a round, you're going to get points for the ones in yours, and you'll lose points if it's in someone else's, and you'll get 1 point if it's in a neutral one. And so players are going to do this as they move along, but they're also going to be fighting enemies. Now, enemies are actually, in this game, they're called fears. All right, so there's a fear, and this is a really kind of a nasty one. I'm going to roll a red die and add 10 to it, and that's the power of this fear. So I roll a die, and it's a 4-sided die, which don't roll very well, but has a 1, 2, and 3, and a 0 here. So I roll, I can't remember what I just rolled. So I roll a 0, hooray! The monster's strength is at 10. Now this monster is going to give 2 relic cards to whoever beats him, and the monster card. Now I'm going to try and convince other people to join me. And we're going to use our monk strength, warrior monk strength, which everyone starts at a 1. And so for each person who does decide to help me, and I might have to make agreements where I give them relic cards and do different things, each person will roll a die and take that number, add it to their monk strength, and subtract it from the monster's strength. If we get them all the way down to 0, the fear is mine. Each person who helped me will also increase their strength by 1. If we don't, and by the way, if you roll this, it's basically a critical miss, and doesn't matter what, even if your monk strength is all the way up to 4, you do nothing to the monster. Players may also remove stones from the board to get another roll that will subtract. It doesn't add your monk strength to the amount. The thing is, when you might pull these off, you might put one on someone else's symbol, and you know you're going to pull it off in the future. You can pull off multiple of these stones. You only have 4, but you do it because these fears can be pretty nasty. And the fears come in 3 different colors, and I don't know what they're fears of. This one is apparently fear of a big pointy white hat. And then there's like major ones, which this one is like a wild, it can be any 3 colors. And that's the fear of ugly animals. And so as you go around, you'll fight these fears. And so that's basically what you do. You draw a card, and you either fight a fear or move some pieces. And you're slowly building the pyramid. Hooray, the pyramid is now built. When the pyramid's built, everybody reveals their secret symbol, and then you'll gain points for wherever you have your spirit stones. 1 if it's in a neutral chamber, 2 if it's in your chamber, 2 if it's in a chamber that it's in a symbol chamber that nobody else has, and then -2 if it's in someone else's chamber. And so then, once the pyramid's finished, to win the game, you have to you either have to wait till this deck runs out, in which case whoever has the most influence is the winner of the game, or one person themselves can go all the way to the top into the eye of the pyramid and go there. And they can only go there if they're going to win by that point. So you can only go here, first of all, if you have 1 of each fear. It gives you 2 points in going there, but you can only go in there if by going in there and getting those 2 points, you've more than everybody else. So that's how you play. There's these relic cards that I mentioned earlier, and you can play these different times. Here you can return a spirit zone to its zone. Here you can re-roll a die roll. Here, this just gives you an influence point. As soon as you get it, you play it. Here you can play this one to avoid the loss of after you lose a battle. Your warrior monks go down in strength. Here you can cancel somebody else's card. There's all this sorts of them, and they have all this kind of weird Aztec artwork on them also. Okay, props on the unusual theme, although the theme doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, okay, I guess it makes sense, but you're going through and confronting your fears, and other people are helping you confront your fears, and all right, well, whatever, okay. The game is too lucky. Too lucky in many ways. You have a handful of tiles, and you'll draw more and play them as you're building the pyramid together, but every tile is going to get out there. The whole idea of putting the spirit stones on your whatever your weird shape symbol is a nice one. You just got to go around and find them. Okay, there's that, and ooh, what symbol is somebody else? Well, who really cares? The thing is, this game is constantly having combats. These bad guys just keep showing up. The fears keep showing up, and in the beginning, they're just going to slap you around. That fact that when you roll a die and you get a 0, and you don't get to contribute any strength at all at that point, just doesn't work. The whole negotiation thing, I love that idea. It's like Cosmic Encounter, where you say, hey, I'm about to go into battle. Who wants to join me? I'll give you this if you help me. That's from there's other games like I'm the Boss that do that. It's a great idea. But here it doesn't work because I say, hey, will you help me? If you help me, I'll give you this and this. And then they help you, and they're completely worthless. And it's through no fault of their own. They didn't backstab you. They just roll the die poorly. That rolling die thing just doesn't work. The game itself is a little weird and so it's not going to really attract people, and the gameplay itself isn't snappy. But the single most annoying thing about the game is you turn a card over and do what it says. That's just dumb. That mechanic, I can't stand it. You draw one card and do what it says. So you're at the complete mercy of that card. Ooh, I get to put out 3 pyramids, or ooh, I fight a fear. There's no choice. Now, the idea of fears popping out at you is a good one, but still, you should have some aspect of control. And if you, let's say you draw a monster 4 times in a row on your turn, which is very, very possible, it can get very tiresome very quickly. You could say, well, if you do that, you get other people to help you, but you're still not doing anything that's going to get you points as the game progresses. And so the really odd theme doesn't do it for me. The gameplay itself is kind of mediocre. Moving around the pyramids, scurrying around is okay. I mean, as you play Spirit Stones just to pull them off to fight monsters, to put them back to get points. I don't know. I didn't enjoy this one very much at all. I like that it's a different theme, but it's just so bland. When you fight these spirits, these die rolls aren't very exciting. Everyone, I don't know. Sorry. This one's kind of a boring pass for me. I can see how some people might be interested in it. And no, you know what? No, sorry. Don't like it.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.
Shut the door.